All right. Let's continue this premiere train. We had Will's Treasure starting out. We just left the Silver Bull 30. What's up, bully? Now you're here with me, Frostbite. After we're done here, we're going to continue this premiere train. We're going to head on through Mad Stackers, the man with the plan. From there, we're going to slide on over to GSF, hang out with Gold Sniping Farmer, visit a little bit of Pistol Packing Pilot. From there, we're going to jaunt on over and say, how do you do to our brother Ringmaster Ray? And then what would it be without wrapping up the premiere train with the one, the only, the fabulous Is Going Crew. All right, leaving the premiere train, where we head? And we are heading to the Numismatic auction news. Now, this is something a little bit different than I've been doing in the past, and this is because I wanted to talk to you a little bit about something different than what I always do, and that's coin. That is about numismatic metals, bronze, copper, silver, gold, obsolete coinage, right? I want to do something a little bit different today. Something I'm going to venture outside of my comfort zone and talk about something that I essentially know nothing about. So this took me a lot of time to put together. I hope you enjoy this. What are we going to be talking about today? We're going to be talking about paper currency. In particular, we're going to be talking about the September 13th through 15th Heritage Auction that was at the Long Beach Expo U.S. Currency Signature Auction. Now, there were a number of bills that showed up there. There were a lot of coins that showed up there. But I wanted to take a minute and I wanted to separate myself from looking at the coins and focus on the bills. So we're going to go ahead and go over a few of these auction winners, and some of them were amazing numismatic hauls. First, you can find all this information by looking down in the description. You can see where I got the article, see where I got all the information. So all the appropriate information is in there, but let's go ahead and hit this. So the first one we're going to be looking at is this La Crosse National Bank from the great state of Wisconsin, 1875 Federal Registered Note, gem uncirculated 65 from the call-up collection. You're going to hear that name again, so pay attention. This bill sold for an amazing $52,800. What a sick note. Now, the next note was part of a killer collection as well, but this one actually was the collection that stemmed from a gentleman by the name of Mr. Neil Chiappa. Now, Neil Chiappa owned a salvage yard, and he was a seasoned and famed numismatist. Now, his collection would rival some of the major players. Now, Chiappa unfortunately passed away in his home in Richmond in 2021. And a lot of his collections slowly made their way through the legal rigmarole and ended up at the auction house here at Heritage Auction. Now, this particular bill went up and it had a pair. So there were two of them that went up in this particular set. And this one is the better of the two. Now, the one that was a little bit less fetched quite a bit less money. I think it fetched about $13,000 to $15,000. However, this one was an 1861 B PMG Choice Very Fine 35. And this particular bill, when they put it up on auction, started off fairly slow, but then it started to pick up, and this bill ended up with an amazing final price of $66,000. Now, as you see, we're going to be going up in price as we go through these. So stay tuned, because some of these bills are absolutely astounding, and there's a lot of history behind them. Now, this bill made me smile. And the reason that this bill made me smile was because when I first saw it, I saw Vernon Treat. And when I saw Vernon Treat, I thought tombstone. And sure enough, this is a silver certificate, also known as the Blue Seal tombstone. Now, this is something that was really cool. And I knew a little bit about that, but the only thing I really know about silver certificates is that they used to be payable in silver bullion or coin, but you got your money in silver. Not the way it is the fiat money that we have nowadays. Now, this fine specimen, this Federal Register Note 302, was a $10 1908 silver certificate certified by PMG in gem uncirculated 66. Now, this particular one tied for the finest grade, and it also was from the Thomas Collop collection. Again, you're going to be hearing Thomas Collop, Thomas Collop, Thomas Collop, because there's, and I'll get to it in a little bit. I want to talk about Thomas Collop collection here in a second. But it made its first appearance in any heritage auction in 2008. But this time, when it came through, it sold for an amazing $78,000. I mean, the quality of the Collop collection is unrivaled. And I don't know a ton about bills. I don't know a ton about paper currency. But hearing about this Thomas Collop collection makes me really want to go back and investigate this. Now, I'm going to be providing you some more information, so stay tuned because there's a really cool auction specifically targeted at his stuff here in November. So you want to stay tuned for that. Now, this one is a 187J $1,000 bill. I mean, I have a hard time saving $1,000, let alone having a single $1,000 bill. This is crazy. But again, this is just absolutely fabulous, gorgeous piece. And it features Christopher Columbus sitting in his study. And the other gentleman is the previous governor of New York, DeWitt Clinton. Now, he served from 1825 to 1828, and he had served 3 stints as mayor of New York City. Now, the track and price list 15 different serial numbers for this Friedberg number. Now, there's only one piece that was part of a larger collection, but only half of the 14 have ever come up on auction in the past 25 years. That means 7 of them have never seen the auction light of day. So there's no idea of kind of where they sit as far as being graded. That means there could be some gems out there. But this brilliant specimen sold for an amazing $192,000. Sick. That's like almost the cost of my house. It's unreal. All right, let's get into this one. Now, we're going to get into a couple bills here in just a second that are absolutely fabulous, but I want you to think about this. Look at the serial number. There's only 4 freaking digits. It's not the whole 8 digits that we are used to now. This is a Federal Reserve note. There's only 4 digits. That was the first thing that caught my mind. And the fact that it has Washington, D.C. as the district. It made me smile. But all of the factors came together with this particular bill. Now, this is the 1918 Federal Reserve note from Cleveland, Burke class. Again, when you're looking at this particular set of money. Now, the Collop collection, I told you I'm going to say this, but the Collop collection is probably one of the finest collections in the world in terms of eye appeal, technical grades that have ever been handled at a heritage auction. And it's no wonder why this thing just exploded in the bids. The extraordinary achievement of the paper money, the collection that he has, is going to be listed on November 9th at the world premiere money signature auction. So if you're interested in that, go check that out. But this bill sold September 13th for an amazing $228,000. If you hear me geeking out, it's because I am. Because number one, you have to be able to keep a bill clean, unfolded, unedged. These bills are 90, 100, 120, 150, 160 years old. They're gem uncirculated. Now, some of them are extra fine and some of them, but the quality of these bills, it makes me think in the 1880s, okay? 1880s. What was $1,000 worth? It's just a crazy thought. Now, this one is a $5,000 note. Now, I do know somebody who has one of these. I was actually at the place when he bought it. But I want you to pay close attention to this serial number. Look at this. 0000998. If that last digit would have been a 9, how sick would that have been? I mean, that's just unreal. Talk about low serial numbers. But again, you saw the other one to this one. This one has 8. The other one only had 4. I just think it's remarkable. I like the lime green color of this. But again, choice uncirculated 64 PMG $5,000 note, 1930. Chicago sold for an amazing, you ready for this? This is crazy. $300,000. I mean, that is unreal. But we got to the piece de resistance. Now, first and foremost, when you look at who was on the $5,000 bill versus who was on the $10,000 bill, I had no idea. So I knew that Chase was on a bill, but I wasn't sure which one he was on. And sure enough, President Chase is on the $10,000 bill. So if you never knew that, there's a little bit of trivia for you if you're ever asked who was on a $10,000 note. But I want you to look at the serial number on this one. Again, we're talking about choice uncirculated 64. Light green seal with a serial number of 185. It's also a double A note. Now, I know that's good. I don't know a lot about bills, but I know a double A note is very, very good. And that 185 is a very, very low serial number. But again, you're talking about a 1934 note. That bill's 90 years old. That is unreal, right? It's just crazy to have such an amazing bill in such amazing shape. Now, this one sold September 14th at the Long Beach Expo for a ridiculous sum of money. I mean, the amount of money that this sold for, I've seen coins, gold coins, double eagles, things like that, stuff for millions and millions and millions of dollars. But I never really paid attention to paper currency. And as I started looking at this, I started looking at some of these numbers. And when this number popped up, I really kind of just freaked out. I was like, oh my God. This $1,000 bill sold for an amazing $480,000. That's just nuts. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this journey. We're going to hop back on the Premier train. We're going to go over to the man with the plan, Mr. Mad Stacker. My name is Frostbyte. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have, hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, please do me a favor. Kick that subscribe button. Frostbyte. Have yourself a wonderful day.